Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's first stream of 2024 with me, No FOMO Charts. Welcome, everybody. This is a trading and investing technical analysis live stream for the stock market and cryptocurrency market. Today is January 6th, 2024, just after 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are in 2024, and we walked right into volatility this week. It's a short week, but a lot is going to happen in this month. So let's get started. If you have a question or request, just let me know in the live chat or in the YouTube comments for the next live stream. We are having USA stock market earnings season starts this upcoming Friday, January 12th, with the big bank finance companies reporting. This is huge for the stock market. The volatility is incoming. So we have Albertsons leading up Tilray, KB Home, Delta Airlines, then the big banks on Friday. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, Insurance United Health, and BlackRock Financial Group. In terms of economic data, we have CPI and core CPI, PPI, core PPI, and unemployment claims. All three of these data releases affect the FOMC's interest rate potential cuts that are going to come out for this year. So we need to see probably 3 more months or 6 more months of good data that's going in the favor of what the FOMC wants, meaning combating inflation. Now, for current events and news, yes, the USA stock market season does begin this upcoming Friday, a big, big day. Apple stock was downgraded by multiple analysts. Also, the USA Justice Department reportedly, according to news, is preparing an antitrust lawsuit against Apple. That's bad. That's why Apple stock has been pulling back, crashing. USA spot Bitcoin ETFs. Everyone's thinking and talking about that right now. Either approval or denial news is pending within the next 1 to 2 weeks. Some as early as a matter of 4 days from now, potentially January 10th. Again, it could gear up to be a potential sell the news event because we have had certain ETFs that are similar. It's not exactly a spot Bitcoin ETF, but some ETFs that are based upon futures a little bit for crypto or other assets. And, not everybody piled into those. So it really depends on really the SEC and what they're going to do. Coinbase is planning to acquire a company in the EU to offer regulated futures trading and spot Bitcoin trading in the EU. So Coinbase is trying to really expand there. And we have the Bitcoin halvening coming up approximately April 22nd, 2024. So the 4 past dates for the Bitcoin halvening were November 28, 2012, July 9, 2016, May 11, 2020, and we have the one coming up this year, April 22nd, 2024. That's 3.5 months from now. All right, welcome everybody. We're going to start off with stocks first. Let's get into it. So the stock market pulled back. Remember the past 2 streams. Yes, we were all excited and hyped about crypto, but I did mention that I'm starting a short position, and personally, I did short the market down on this leg. We did fall back down to support on the S&P 500. So we hit that exact resistance I marked 477 area about 1 or 2 streams ago. And the support level I did mark at 466.67. So successful short there. We're going to see if we bounce or not. The way to tell for that is to take a peek into maybe the hourly or the 4-hour chart. Look at the price and understand we got a little bit oversold there with some momentum. We hit that level with some MACD histogram building. So it's probably not completely over for the stock market in terms of crash. We are going into that earnings season right now. If it pulls back 2% down, area could take us down further to 458. So I'm watching that very closely. If we have a little bounce, we could bounce to make a lower high all the way to about 473 or 474 area. So also watching for that bounce target. On the weekly, however, there is an evening star pattern. Does everyone see this? The triple candle pattern. This is bad because we went from a good morning star pattern and now I see a bad evening star pattern. So perhaps we might pull back about halfway Dow theory, possibly. Sometimes it just goes to 236. So where I marked the first time, additional levels of support 450, 441 if we do pull back. So carefully watching that. You can see the weekly EMAs are way down here in the 450 area. That's why we're walking straight into volatility right now, into earnings season. Same thing here at QQQ NASDAQ. Hit that resistance point that I marked almost exact. It's the exact spot that I marked for 1158, coming down to my support level that I also marked, 395. It does look like there was some profit taking here from the shorts. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 days of gap down, and then an inside or a consolidation candle there. In terms of where are we in this retrace, you can see clearly I marked that resistance point here on the resistance levels on the daily and support. So where can it fall down to on this latest leg? Fibonacci retracement. We did hit the 236, so probably oversold, maybe an oversold bounce up to the 403 area. And maybe if earnings are bad, one more dump down back to 388. Watching for that. Weekly as well, that evening star pattern is not good. We had a shooting star after Christmas last year, and that's why we're pulling back as well. Let's go to Russell 2000, then Dow Jones. Same story here. I marked that resistance exactly, got the pullback. I shorted all of these indexes. Great profits to start the year. I'm actually hedging my portfolio. So we'll see here right now that where could it go down to? There's a lot of blue lines. Inside of a larger consolidation pattern in the yellow lines here. Everybody see that? The large consolidation zone. This could actually go lower here. And then we have this resistance on top. It's not a surprise. Also draw the trend line support on the bottom side of the close. And you can see we're approaching that high, low, high, low, high, low. So we could bounce. In a bullish case, everything is good. We could bounce up to 200. If it's bad, dump, rejection, and then back down to maybe even like 182 long term. So watching out for that. Dow Jones, slightly different story. Didn't quite pull back as much as the other indexes, but this looks, you can clearly see some kind of 5-wave Elliott wave pattern. So I think that this rally for this leg is probably done. Unless some of the Dow Jones earnings companies are amazing, we could have an ABC correction, a very small one. It could just also just consolidate sideways as well, but the resistance 377, support 370, next support 362. If it happens to break out rally off of good earnings, have to open up a pivots just to see. I just like the past one pivot only. And where are their hidden levels? Their hidden levels are 383 and 390. So just watching out for that on the weekly. There is some shooting star action here on the Dow Jones. You can kind of see it. It hasn't had its morning or evening star pullback yet. That could happen. Okay, moving on to gold. Gold reaching its higher low. We can see here reaching its higher low pattern. Resistance, resistance, support, support. So if it holds that support, the bullish case, we could rally back up to 193 if the market dumps. But if the inverse is true, we could pull back all the way down to 183. So let me make that very clear. We'll just put it would be nice if I could find a star here. I'll just use this sun. Put the sun, and we'll also put another target here just to make the chart interesting as resistance or support for gold. Now on the weekly, we do have that evening star pattern as well. So just want to watch out for that. Silver on the daily reaching just barely below that support level. I have to adjust this line now as that new pivot point. So resistance, support, support. It looks like actually silver almost wants to double bottom and then long up to 23.45. If that's true, we can have a 3% risk to a 6 to possibly even 12%. I'm just going to put a 6%, make a nice little safe trade here. And if that goes, it goes. So we'll see if that rallies or not. But support has to hold. For silver, copper had a nice little rally, but I'm seeing this trend line start to fade away. It just barely lost it right now. And box that in. You see this? High, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. Supposed to hit the higher low. So if it stays above 23.43, cannot go below $23. Would be nice if this rally one more time to the 25 area, but if not, it could have a rejection dump down to that 23 area. So I'm marking these two levels. Evening star pattern, double top. Okay, so then it's a little bit less likely on the weekly long term that we might not rally up to here. So if we start to lose 23.50, might want to short copper down. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. US oil. Now, don't want to get tricked on these charts because it does not always respond to technicals, but there could be this upside down head and shoulders slanted that I'm seeing here. It's maybe 10% from the breakout. If that's 10%, could go up to $77 approximately. Has to break out above $71 for that to be true. Always want to have the inverse situation in my mind. So if that breaks down, we can pull back all the way down to $66 on US oil. UNG, we had a nice breakout spot. And it's interesting how if we use technical analysis, it goes exactly to some obvious levels, right? I remember saying this could be a bottom for UNG like 4 weeks ago, approximately 3-4 weeks ago, because you draw the trend line, support, support, support. This is the third time. And then you also box this in, and then there's a clear target. So sometimes it's not random, is what I'm saying. And clearly on the charts, RSI. By the way, if you're using the RSI Relative Strength Index here on TradingView, the old version did not have this moving average, the yellow one on my screen. So you could turn that off if you like. You don't always have to have that on. Or the Bollinger Bands, right? Long time ago, or the bullish labels. The old school RSI, like if you use other platforms, it's usually just the regular input of 14 and then the gray lines of 70 and 30. That's how I like my RSI. I'm kind of old school with that. But some of these bullish, bearish labels, they could help a little bit. But I do like how on TradingView's version, when it gets oversold, it becomes red color. It's like easier to see. And when it becomes overbought, it becomes green color. Although maybe those should be flipped in color. But just giving a little bit of a settings tip there. Anybody who's interested in that. So where can we go here? Almost went a little bit parabolic, but just need to draw one trend line. We can see where it's going. Kind of went a little bit too high, too fast here on natural gas. So probably a higher low at like 550. If it breaks out above 6, that's great. That's been a level that natural gas has been stuck at for a really long time. Okay, just showing Apple. What happened with Apple had a massive, the analyst downgrade and the potential lawsuit, Justice Department, USA. So that's why I shorted Apple as well. So it was successful. It actually went in my favor. Just a quick trade review of Apple. Usually is one of the strongest stocks in the stock market. Now, how did I play this? Is potential double top. 197. Even on a daily, I could see it. Here as well on the bottom, 165. So I'm like, okay, it's going, consolidating. We used to have a triangle here or a wedge. But the most recent price action I was looking at was maybe this turned into a head and shoulders. It looks bearish, had a neckline, so I shorted it. And then it actually gapped down in my favor. But it could be ready to bounce, like I said, because of QQQ. Is what happened here. Is that we're getting oversold on the 4 hour a little bit. On the 4 hour here, oversold with some momentum. So I'm expecting probably on Monday or Tuesday, we're going to have a little gap up here. just that to get that lower high. So I might have taken my profit. It depends on how long I want to hold that. But it did look like it shorted down about halfway. I also did a little bit of shorting on Tesla as well. But Tesla, because we hit that resistance and then pulled back. So I'm in the middle of my short right now. 10% is pretty good. So I might close that out because we're reaching that 230 range. But why am I showing this? I'm showing this because as I keep charting, once I see a setup, then I'm going to execute. Meaning I saw this resistance, 1, 2, 3, basically fourth time. And then I believed that the market, based upon the chart, was going to come down for the past 2 weeks. And it was correct. And so nice profitable trades the first week of January. So wrapping up the indexes, and we'll move on to crypto. Indexes, always good to look at the XLs, sector ETFs, I mean. Starting off with, we'll do XLK up here. So XLK, we could see we pulled back severely. XLC, not so much. Real estate, still consolidating. Energy, trying to hold that higher low. XLY with the pullback. All of these might bounce next week. XLV with some shooting star action. XLP, this consumer staples fund, just barely holding on there. We'll know when this is done, when you have a pullback down and then it starts to dump, then might want to sell some kind of consumer staples stocks. XLF as well, starting to lose momentum because it was going straight up. You can also see the Elliott wave, sometime of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and starting to really go sideways. So if we lose that support of 37 area, could just dump a little bit back down to like 36.81 area. SMH as well. So here, it's important to be able to use SMH because that includes AMD and NVIDIA and Intel type of chip stocks as well. I believe Micron as well. But we can see that this old trend line from a long time ago, this bottom one, solid yellow, became my resistance point, right? We hit this, used to be support, now it turned into resistance. Fade down, downtrend, rejection, 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 meaning short, short, short. That. So until it breaks back in and goes back to uptrend, it's in trouble right now, short term. Okay, let's go to crypto. Welcome everybody to the cryptocurrency section of my live stream. If you missed the beginning here, the 4 important dates, it's going to get bright. Bitcoin halvening is coming up, April 22nd, 2024 expected date. Now, I do have a special chart prepared. It's called BLX. So BLX, this is crypto now. This is the Bitcoin Liquid Index. What it is just an old chart that shows the entire price history of Bitcoin from start to finish, I believe. And it's just good because some other exchanges, they run out of the price data. Sometimes it only goes to about 2013 or so on like a Bitfinex. But on BLX, you get the whole price data. So I'm on a weekly chart here so you can see everything. Now, I just want to show people what happened the other 3 times we had a Bitcoin halvening. Bitcoin halvening, basically, you could probably look it up on TradingView or Google, but Bitcoin halvening means that the Bitcoin mining rewards gets cut in half so that Bitcoin theoretically should combat inflation and become more scarce, thus becoming more valuable. That's how Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever that is or the group is, they designed it like that. It's only approximately 17 million coins. So that's why when it keeps getting cut in half, the rewards, Bitcoin becomes more valuable. So theoretically, the 3 times we had it, and these are approximate dates. So we had 1, 2, 3 times in the blue line. So what happened every single time in the past? Price went up. Price went up. First halvening, price went up. Second halvening, price went up. Third halvening, price went up. We had the third halvening in the pandemic, May 11th, 2020, approximately. So then we're about to have the fourth halvening on April 22nd. Now, if this fails this time, because if SEC and the USA bans Bitcoin trading or all the ETFs are banned for the entire year, I'm predicting, probably forecasting, it's probably going to pull back a lot down. But if the government, if the USA SEC does not change legislation or regulations too much, that's detrimental and bad for Bitcoin, we probably should go up. In history, 3 out of 4 times. Past results are not predictive of future results, but this could be up to, and the key word is up to, anywhere from 0 up to 75% chance, 3 out of 4 chance. 75% chance up to maximum that we're going to go up after this. And how long does that take? Let's see. It could take 1 year, 1.5 years. Okay, so let's average that just really quick. I think it was like 375 plus 488 plus something like 360 something divided by 3. That's approximately 400 days. So basically just, a year and like 1 to 2 months. It's like 1.1 years. So if we try to forecast that April 22nd, and then what's 1.1 years from there? Basically May 2025. Maybe we'll see Bitcoin up here. Maybe. Right here. Somewhere. Maybe we'll be at finally $100,000 Bitcoin or way higher than that. Would be nice to see that. But I do want to point that out to people. And again, I'm not, do not quote me on this. This is not financial advice. It's 0 to 75% chance that we're going to go up in crypto. It's all based upon government legislation or regulations, not only in the USA, but especially in Europe as well, and Asia as well. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go to total market cap. Thank you for the follow. Where are we right now? Where are we? We're right under this resistance, 1.65 trillion. Now, in the short term, we're in a higher low upstairs uptrend pattern, and we could pull back at any time. We could pull back at any time. That's why if any Bitcoin ETFs get rejected this month, we're most definitely going to pull back. Almost definitely. Greater than 50% chance it's going to go down. If we get rejected, I'm saying if we get rejected, for sure it'll go down, because even that rumor from Matrix Port News, if it's whatever they're trying to do there, or if any analyst tries to downgrade anything, crypto or stocks, it usually causes a reaction in the market. So where can we go down to? Let's look at the bearish case first. Where can it go down to? 1.5 trillion, 1.4, 1.3. If it's really bad, 1.2. We don't want to go down below 1.2. Absolute lowest is 1 trillion, somewhere down here. But if we're looking at the 2023 pattern, remember, we still have this trend line down here, and we still have this trend line. We also have, we can draw this trend line as well. So you can see we have quite a bit of open space in this blue circle. It would be totally normal to come down to 1.36. I do not want that to happen, because that could be a bearish head and shoulders pattern. Then the uptrend is a little bit at risk. So just pulling back down a little bit to 1.5 trillion, that's kind of okay. 1.7 trillion is our resistance. We know if we break 2 trillion, we're really doing great. Now, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, this is good. This is good because we were a little bit at risk below the 51% area. This is a BTC.D chart. And if we connect these trend lines down here, that's what I'm saying, is it was at risk. Now, this is still, to me, chart looks still at risk. Why? Because this is a very common problem. When you have a rising wedge pattern like this and we're going up here, we double top here, we have resistance, support. We lost the support. This is bad for Bitcoin for now. It's bad. It'll be good if we mega rally back into here and uptrend, that's fine. But if we reject from here, that means Bitcoin could go down further price, because it was going an uptrend and now it's not. It's mixed, it's consolidating, going sideways, or it's intermediate downtrend. So if we lose 53%, we go back down to 51%, Bitcoin's going down to like 40,000 or below, probably. Okay, so just knowing that in our back of our minds. Why am I saying this? Because Bitcoin is hovering at the 45 range. Let's use a better chart. Bitcoin USD. We are right at 44,000. So draw that bottom trend line. Draw the top trend line. You can see we broke out of here and we're just resting, stuck between 46,000 and 40,000. So that's also correlates with the resistance on the left side. Does everybody see that? Resistance here, resistance level. Next level up is 50K, 50,000. Next major level down is approximately 37, 36, 35. That's why these analysts are saying we could dump that down to there. It's definitely possible because the pattern, high, high, low, higher, low, barely higher, low, way higher high. So that higher low could come down all the way to 35. I don't want it to happen. But if it happens, it's going to happen. It could happen, right? So just understand there's a lot of blank space down here. Any bad news, ETFs denied, dump. Maybe even half the ETFs approved, half the ETFs denied, dump, right? But then 1 year from now, I'm hoping that we stay in the higher low pattern. And then until May 2025, it's going to be glorious, hopefully. Now, if I even Fibonacci this to get some mathematically calculated, automatic. Let's use a different chart for that. Use Kraken, for example. I'm going to Fibonacci retrace the bottom of 2023 to the top of 2021, which is our pandemic low. Our recent low to the back to the pandemic high. Is we hit that 50% retrace. Okay, so once we hit a 50% retrace, it's probably going to pull back down. It could. I don't want it to, but it could do that. Again, the market is not under control of one like analyst or retail trader. We need millions of billions of dollars to shake the market, or all the banks in like America saying bad things about Bitcoin, government, SEC, etc. They already tried doing that basically a little bit. But the activity that's happening with the SEC and the Bitcoin ETFs makes me believe, like I said for 3 weeks, this is probably going to be the real one this year. Bitcoin ETFs first, then halvening, and then maybe Ethereum ETFs, rumor in May, right? So just watch out for this pattern. Is we do not want to lose $38,000 Bitcoin. Very important not to lose that. Once we lose that, then there's this blank hole we have could crash down to like 30. And then it's super oversold. Maybe the bad news is passed by then. And then hopefully we'll get another buyer. A lot of buyers coming back, 50, 60K Bitcoin. Hopefully. All right. Let me check my questions here. Thank you for the likes, supports, and follows. Always appreciate it. If you have a question, let me know. I'm going to wrap up soon in about maybe 5 or 10 minutes after I do a couple cryptos. And then just wrap up. Okay, Ethereum USD on a daily. Draw the trend line. Draw the resistance. We're right at the resistance. Okay, so that's why people know we're at risk right now. Double top right below 2,500. Still in a higher low pattern, so it could drop down to even 2,000. It's definitely possible. So you can see in the gray dotted lines, I have alerts here. 2,500, immediate support 2,100. That's where we're stuck below. The halfway point is about 1,900, so just watch out for that. On a weekly chart, we have multiple dojis going sideways. That is still not good because we need a clear bull break above 2,400 to get out of this consolidation pattern. Else not, we're going back down, probably. Binance Coin now become number 3 market cap. So Binance Coin, they managed to survive from crashing to oblivion on the lawsuit. But we do see some pulling back. And there was that potential head and upside down head and shoulders, 23%. Definitely hit that target. So that's over now. And it's seems to be tracking Bitcoin, right? High, low, higher, high. Where's the higher low? 286 area, 262. Resistance, 337. We'll just leave it like that. Very simple. But we do have that inside bar doji that's starting off for this week. It's just about to end right now. So that's why it's good to look at the weekly. This is not good. Not a good candle. Now, Solana. Solana, huge amount of pullback. But remember, even though we were all hyped about it 2 weeks ago, remember I did say it could pull back down to the 80s range. So if we draw the support line here, it's right at that support line. It's make or break time for Solana. Again, this is not financial advice. Each trader and investor is responsible for their own account, their own coins, keys, funds, and charts as well. This is mostly an educational live stream, and I share my trade reviews for education as well. So here we can see that we have resistance on the top. We hit that support level. It's just about to test it. If we zoom in, let's use our magnifying glass. We actually just barely lost it. We're drawing accurate lines, right? We just lost it. Not good for Solana in the short term. Long term, I'm still bullish on all these cryptos. But in the short term, futures traders are waiting. They're salivating right now. They're about to just short this thing, to sell this thing possibly, right? So with this Fibonacci, we hit the 618. It could pull back down to 76, all the way down to $76, even down to 56, and then maybe even down to 33. That could be really bad for Solana. So, because I'm not swing trading Solana. So if I was swing trading Solana, I probably would have already taken my profit by now. If I was day trading, if I was doing futures, would have taken that profit, flip short, and there's plenty of volatility. But on my Solana, I'm investing in it. So I could be totally wrong holding it this long, right? But because we had this ascending triangle here, and because of what I said about Bitcoin earlier in the halvening, who knows, maybe 1 year from now, if Bitcoin goes up, Solana should follow it, unless Solana does something illegal, right? Or if it gets banned or something. But 170%, we already hit that first target. We hit 340. So this ascending triangle, this pattern is over. It's done. It's done. We could do a triple the target, right? We could do that, which would be 500% from the breakout, which would be 168. That's the next bullish target, but we're pulling back, and there's a lot of open space here. That's why it's not good. It's not good, right? The only thing I can say, if someone's a mega bull investor like I am, is Solana has pulled back negative 66% or negative 30, 40% in the past, and still rallied higher, right? So just because it's pulling back, it actually might not be over. That's why, just from experience, it looks like we finished some kind of move like this in the blue. Doesn't it not look like that? Actually, doesn't it look like that? Right? And so this could easily go the bottom side, right? So then somebody has to take their profit or swing trading or day trading. But if we have a breakout and then this mega triangle and we have another bull breakout, that's what I'm looking for. But it's developing. It's going to take like 3 months to develop on Solana. So you got Cardano. Cardano with the massive sell-off. Let me use a different chart than this one. Save that. It's like Bittrex is gone. Just use Kraken. So Kraken chart. Cardano went sideways. Let's Fibonacci this whole thing, pandemic low to pandemic high. And where are we? Barely hit that 786. If we use the 2023 low, we hit the 0.88. So that's why I don't really think we're over on long term, because we had such a massive uptrend and then a downtrend going sideways. The longer it bases, the higher it can go. It's just we hit that first leg of this rectangle right here. Hit the first leg. So long-term investor mentality, 83%. We did almost get there. 83% would have went higher. So understand that people are really nervous about the ETFs. I'm still monitoring it every single day, because it can go really wrong. You never know. The SEC might be trying to, pull a fast one on all crypto investors and traders and actually delay it again. All of them. It's possible. All right. So we have this W here. We'll see right here, 87%. should get there. Double that target, basically like just under 190 to that 618 area. So long term, we could get to $1, but all of this shooting star action, that's bad. Okay, so if somebody's a swing trader and just want to play the first leg, this is a sell signal, basically. And we already had that big red. But for me, I'm a long-term investor. I'm trying to hold it until like $1 plus. Maybe Cardano might go to 323 again, dollars. That's why. Because this looks like such a juicy pattern to me. It's just on the first side, unless we have a mega rally, it's not going to go straight up like that, like it used to. It's going to take its time. Okay, next. XRP. I know we have a lot of XRP traded from the EU. Again, XRP, huge sell-off. You see this huge wick on the daily. That was a massive sell-off. We had this before, though. Massive sell-off and massive sell-off. And as long as it doesn't keep massive sell-off crashing, it's actually kind of okay. That means there's liquidity there. That means there's some people still holding. But it depends on where somebody bought, right? If somebody bought up here and they're still holding, they're huge losses, very dangerous, right? If somebody bought down here and they're still holding, it's not a huge problem. That's why I can have that mentality. I have a huge cushion that I don't want to see crash, but I have a cushion. That's why it's good to buy at support plays and not at resistance plays. The opposite is a lot of people buy into resistance because after it goes up, people see the chart or the watch list that's green a lot, or they FOMO in and follow other people, or their friends, they wait for their friends or family to do it first, and then they do it. That means it's too high. So getting low, and the next low might be 53 cents, 52 cents, maybe even down to 41 cents. We don't want that to happen, but high, low, high, low, high. It's a lower high. I remember talking about this for a couple of weeks now. This is not a good sign, right? On November 2023. Why? It should have gone high, low, high like that, but it did not. So the lower high, this lower high right here, this resistance is the warning sign for somebody, if they're really sensitive to trading charts, to get out of there or to set up a stop loss to take profit, right? So there is this 53 area sense that has to hold, cannot crash, try to rally back up to this 70, 80 cent area on Ripple. Okay, I'll just do like 2 more and then I'm going to sign off. Let's do Doge. I think a little more people are interested in Doge. Dogecoin, we had a nice rally off this low here, about 6 cents range, just like another box like Cardano. We went up to like 10 cents range and it hit that resistance. So this is going sideways, right? Support, high, resistance, right? So if somebody wants to just play the consolidation, they play low to high and sell and get out of there. Get out of there. But if someone's an investor, like I am, I'm seeing, big double bottom. Maybe just wait for it. I hope it doesn't crash on me, but best on bull case, this could go up to like 17, 20 cents in a best bull case. But the opposite case, if SEC denies everything, this could crash all the way back down to 5 cents or below. So it is a little bit of risk trying to hold those right now, because it could turn into a descending triangle. We're about to find out. In 2 weeks from now, we're about to find out. But if somebody's holding a lot of red, that's dangerous, right? I'm holding a lot of green. That's why I can let it move around like that. LTC, USDT, Litecoin, last one for today. Let's not use this one. Use Bitfinex because I like a lot of price history going all the way back. 10 years. It's good. So on a weekly, we have this support and with this resistance. All I'm thinking is this price higher low kind of reminds me of the pandemic higher low. Okay, we could also draw this here if somebody wants to. That could be used for a bearish case. So I'm just going to draw that super old trend line. But I do like that there's a potential higher low on the weekly. So if we survive this, we should rally back up to upper 200s on Litecoin like a year from now. And I have a long time horizon that I'm thinking about. Okay, so all of this intermediate stuff could be noise for me in terms of how I interpret the charts. Right? In the weight intermediate, you can see we're stuck between where 110 and like 45 area. It's a big range here that I'm looking at. Okay. So just want to make sure that this $57 higher low area we don't lose that. If we lose that, then my mindset is going to change. Because if that's a resistance and we reject down from that, there's only red from here. Okay. So watch out for that $44 support. All right, everybody. Want to say thank you so much for supporting, for watching and following. If you like this stream, if you learned something, go ahead and hit that follow button or subscribe on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. Also have a X Twitter group as well, where I just post the recap of the live streams in a post there. So again, if you have a question for next time, just let me know in the YouTube comments and I'll try to answer it. And remember, everybody, it's going to be volatile this month. We have stock market earnings and SEC ETF approval denials for 1.5 months. Then we had the Bitcoin halving in April, and then it's going to be a volatile 3 to 6 months, everybody. So remember, always manage risk, protect your profits, protect your principal, and live to trade and invest another day. All right, I'll see you next time. The next time I'm probably going to stream is most likely probably either January 13 or 14. That is a holiday weekend as well. So that weekend, 12, 13, or 14, I'm probably going to stream one time on TradingView. All right, have a nice week, and I'll see you next time.